So my vignette today is entitled First Boyfriend, John Gorman. And this came out of a class, or rather a workshop in Spain, where you had to write a letter. So this is the letter that I wrote, and I wrote it in 2015. And I actually, 50 years later, afterwards decided to send it to him because I had his email and he actually wrote back. But anyway, we never met again. So this is the original email. Dear John, you are the man I should have married all those decades ago. I never realized I loved you. After all, when, at 18, I was made to leave you. I was a young, innocent, provincial virgin, ignorant of life. I did not know or understand how to love. There was no sex education in those years. I recall lying next to you on the floor in your flat near the crack, saying I was sorry I would not let you make love to me, and you replying that it was just enough my being there. Even the meaning of love was not even discussed. When you told me at a party that you loved me, all I could ask you was, when did it happen? Like love was an illness. I was so ignorant, locked in a comfortable, sheltered, leafy green, middle-class Jewish suburban community in Liverpool. It was the early 60s. You were 27 then and already divorced. You inspired me to step outside into the exciting world of Bohemia in the era of beatniks, downtown, away from the silence of the respectable suburbs. You showed me verbal, visual creativity and freedom. I was reborn. My eyes were open. I saw life and colour around me. The art school dances where we all had long hair, fringes, and wore black with pendants looking arty. Romping around Lewis's department store, hiding behind mannequins, and then popping up laughing in the formal ladies' department, being followed by the store detective. You made me laugh. The traditional Friday nights with the usual suspects going to Prince's Road dressed up on high holidays, being seen by those who watched in the Liverpool Jewish community. Escaping made our secret world intimate and fun. I never stopped laughing and feeling lightheaded with joy. We mixed with the Liverpool poets, as they were later called, Brian Patton, Adrian Henri, and your flatmate, Roger McGough. The Crack, the Phil, Hope Hall, now the Everyman, the Jack, the Jacaranda, and the Blue Angel. Nostalgic places and faces on the screen of my mind. Key venues in the golden era of the Mersey beat, somewhere between 1958 and 1962, when Liverpool was the bohemian place to be. You gave me a Victorian book of poems, the only material gift you ever gave me. I kept it almost forever. Carefree memories until the pumpkin hour of 10:30, back to 195 Woolton Road, Liverpool 15, on the top deck of the 73 bus, until my mixed freesias arrived the next day with you at the Lewis's staff entrance for lunch and then dinner. Every day, without fail, my parents despaired I was never at home to eat, until a word from my third cousin Vivian, a message from those in control, those who thought they knew better, my parents. John was not, in their eyes, good enough for me. No job, on the dole, no prospects, so they thought in their wisdom. I foolishly listened. I reacted. I withdrew back into my shell. I did what I was told. I thought they knew best. I ended our friendship on the number 73 bus one evening. You reacted. You choked with emotion, holding back your tears. You said you would never forget me and ran off the bus before my stop. My liberal, artistic life ended abruptly. My social life ended. My parents went on holiday to Israel to get out of the way, and I was sent to live with my materialistic Auntie Tilly, who terrorised maiden Auntie Gladys at the bungalow in Menlo Avenue, next door to John Lennon's Auntie Mimi. No crack, no Phil, no Hope Hall with the Roadrunners, no Blue Angel, no Jack, no carefree laughter. Silence befell me and depression. Manchester beckoned, not too far, but far away, enough from the comfort of home. 2 years later, Italy, and a new world, Europe. Another language that enchanted me. A door to a new chapter in my life had opened. We met a decade later in 1972 by chance in the streets of London. You were a success in TV. I confessed to you about my split with my fiancé Philippe. You were sympathetic and listened to my woes. You invited me to a PC Plod show with Roger, just like the old days. I took photos. You were the policeman character, PC Plod. You were now married to a woman with means. Our lives had gone in different directions. We were never to meet again, but I never forgot the carefree laughter. I traced you 50 years later. I followed your rise to fame with the scaffold. Your songs still echo in my ears, Lily the Pink and Thank You Very Much. Hits probably even my parents knew. My silent parents were wrong. You created the character, PC Plod, a career in children's TV and producer of Blind Date with Cilla Black. You did well. Later in your life, after your divorce, you moved to France. I re-encountered Roger at the Charleston Literary Festival in Sussex, our then British Poet Laureate. My, how the Liverpool poet has succeeded, how your paths had differed. I believe you fell out. Give us a hug, Jill, Roger said when he recognised me all those years later. Your name was not mentioned. I was dying to ask, but it was an inappropriate moment. 50 years on, a journalist friend traced your email to a cultural arts centre in Birkenhead you had set up. I wrote. You replied briefly, you little tinker. You promised to write again when you got back after seeing your daughter Boadicea in New York. You never did. Then, one evening I watched you with Mike McCartney on YouTube singing the oldies at one of your many revival concerts. Still, no oil painting at 82. I saw your familiar face with deep lines of character, your winning smile, your prominent nose, your powerful personality, your presence, your strength. A man in control, a commanding presence, and with demonstrative mission. How I long to meet you again. And that's it, really. Love, Jill, the little tinker. But he did reply and sort of reminisced with me, but we never met.
Fantastic. Alex?
Yes, and that's quite a good segue because my the poem that I've chosen is by Adrian Henri, one of the Liverpool poets, and it's called Love Is. Love is feeling cold in the back of vans. Love is a fan club with only 2 fans. Love is walking, holding pain-stained hands. Love is. Love is fish and chips on winter nights. Love is blankets full of strange delights. Love is when you don't put out the light. Love is. Love is the presents in Christmas shops. Love is when you're feeling top of the pops. Love is what happens when the music stops. Love is. Love is white panties lying all forlorn. Love is a pink nightdress, still slightly warm. Love is when you have to leave at dawn. Love is. Love is you and love is me. Love is a prison and love is free. Love's what's there when you're away from me. Love is.
Beautiful.